The final game of the round takes place between the Broncos and the Dragons for our $10,000 guaranteed prize pool here on Draftstars. And we're going to kick it off with the outside backs, as always there. And we have some interesting prices up on here because obviously the one game, you're getting some crazy numbers here for this outfit. And obviously that means there's less options, more salary to throw around there on some of these players, and hopefully you can pick up a couple of cheapies as well. But Moses Sully picks up an 18,370 salary, obviously with the 72 in his rolling average there of 53.5 his last three. There's a reason why he's priced that high. Obviously, a decent opportunity to do well, but Tony Staggs is his counterpart there, and I think that he can hold him, at bay somewhat. I think the Broncos, this is their game to win. They've been doing really well. Obviously, came up against the best outfit in the comp in the North Queensland Cowboys last week and slowed them down. But I think they're going to have a bit of a bounce-back game. The Dragons obviously been playing okay as well the last couple of weeks, but I think this is the time to sit them down a little bit and bring them back down to earth. But who knows? We had the Sharks on Thursday night come out and put a number on those Storm Boys. So, Tessie New been scoring okay, but I think we're going to steer clear of him. We got Lomax, who I think is a pretty solid option. Obviously, 34 is his lowest in the last 7 weeks, which is great. As a base, if you think the Dragons can do well, I think Lomax is a good pick. You got Tony Staggs, I think just too up and down for me. Corey Oates is an interesting one at 12,800. I think he's got that obviously 60 score in him. He's got 3 of his last 7 games have that in it, and a 39. 2 low ones, so one real low one, a 19, and 31 and 39, pretty solid there for an outside back, to be honest. So Corey Oates, a pretty safe bet in a game against the Dragons there. Cody Ramsey coming off a low one. I think he can bounce back a little bit, but I wouldn't expect the world from him against a good team there. You got Jordan Pereira, who came in and got 38.1 in his first game, and he's a great selection. He's always been a real busy outside back, running for closer to 200 meters at all times, and that brings along a bunch of tackle breaks. Very, very strong runner of the footy. The reason why he doesn't get picked in a lot of teams is the defense, so not a big issue here apart from the random missed tackle. But Jordan Pereira, I think, is the solid one. Brenko Lee, bit up and down, so he could be okay as well if you want to go for that one. In our halves and hookers, Adam Reynolds is a clear top pick. Obviously, he had his lowest game of the season last week, and it was still a 49. So, massive kick meters for him. You're spending through the nose there at 23,500. But if you can get a 70 plus from Adam, you're setting up in a good position there. Andrew McCulloch, he gets his starting role back the last 2 weeks in a 45 and a 51. So if you can get anywhere near that for 14,800, I think he's a great one for your flex or that half hooker if you're not going for Reynolds. You've got Ezra Mam and you've got Jaden Sullivan, both a bit of a potential hit and miss. You got Sullivan, who's starting this week in the 7 role. Could get something closer to that 37, I'd say, at 12,400. Not a bad shout. Ezra Mam at 13,000 had his lowest game of the season, but so did all of the Broncos players as they got pumped pretty bad against the Cowboys. So Ezra has a great opportunity to get back closer to that 48 again. But with Reynolds being there, clearly, he's scored well with and without him. So that's obviously good signs, but it depends what you want to spend up here. I'd personally go for McCulloch, then go for Mam, just for some safety in around that 45 to 50 odd, I think. Amone obviously scored really well last 2 weeks also, a 47 and a 51. How he's going to go against the Broncos is a big question mark in my eyes, and I think that's going to push me away from him. But at worst, if you have that amount of money left, then he's going to service your team pretty well. In the forwards, I'm going to completely stay away from the top dogs here, and I'm going to go down to Jackie Bird as my first potential selection at 14,390, averaging 46 the last 3. And has that 41 in that fourth to last game as well. So he's been consistent, tackling a lot better. Missed tackles are down a fair bit, which is good. Blake Laurie also averaging 47 of his last 3 and that 39 in there as well. So he's been great, obviously at 58. But if you can get anywhere in the high 30s, he's going to be serviceable for your squad. I would probably pick him over someone like Keenan Palacia at 12,000. So you get a little bit more of a discount for Keenan. He does start this week and should be getting around the 50 minutes. So if you expect a decent PPM, which he hasn't had really since the first few games of the season, where you saw some 40 odds for him. They're early in the season, 38, 42, 45. Pretty consistent when we were selecting him in our sides. He's been on the bench and playing little minutes and got 50 minutes on the weekend for 20. So that's the only worry with Keenan. Kobe Hetherington gets the 13 role, hopefully a score closer to the high 30s to 40. For Kobe, if you want to select him at 11,130, I think that's a good one. And the last one on this list is going to be Zak Hosking, who makes his debut, but it's going to be on the edge, and you expect 50 plus minutes for him, 50 to 60 potentially, and 80 at best. So Zak Hosking at 9,900, great selection to round out your forwards, and then hopefully you got a little bit of cash left over, maybe for a McCulloch in your flex, for example. But that's that video for your Sunday game. Again, made this one a little bit early, so if there's any late changes, just jump into that hour before kickoff and play it by ear on that one. If there's random dropouts for COVID or anything like that, then there could be some options here in these number 20, 20, 21, 22 to potentially come in and play a role in that side. But jump into that description, guys. Hit that sign up link. And have a great weekend. I hope you enjoy this game and you do well on Draftstars. See you later, guys.